Welcome to the Sportsbook Review NBA Preview Show. I'm Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com. And along with Troy West of TroyWins.com, we're going to preview both the Wednesday and the Thursday portfolio in the NBA. And we hope by Friday we're going to be back to normal. Troy's joining me by phone today. Hopefully you can see his young and handsome face so you don't just have to look at the old guy. But we should be back to normal on our Friday, Monday schedule very, very soon. But either way, we're going to keep bringing you the great NBA information. And before I do get to Troy, I want to remind you, make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube page of Sportsbook Review, where you can get great content. Yeah, the Final Four is here. College basketball season's almost over, but Troy and I will have great information through the NBA playoffs, and baseball season is here. So if you're not already subscribed, do that now. And make sure you like, comment, and please share our videos. If you like them, that's a way to tell us how much you like them. Share, comment, do whatever you can do to get us more exposure. All right, Troy, like I said, on this report, we're going to be taking a look at 2 days, the Wednesday and the Thursday portfolio. Thursday is always the shortest card of the entire week. But how about Wednesday? What are you looking at?
Yeah, just 2 games for Wednesday, Joe. The first one is actually going to be the Portland Trail Blazers. They come off a big win against the Pelicans. This team looks absolutely dynamite as of late. Nothing standing in their way. And they're playing a very, very bad Memphis Grizzlies team who's kind of just fallen flat on their face. And I think they're at that point in the season where, like you talked about, Joe, the tanking angle. I'll let you get into more specifics, but to me, this is a team that's very much looking forward to the season being over. Portland's still playing for seeding. I like the Blazers. This one's at -6. Doesn't seem to be enough points for me. I expected them to come out as high as a favorite as 8 to 9 points. They're not. They're at 6. I like the Blazers. And then the other one I like is actually the Utah Jazz at home against the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, this will be their 4th road game here in the last 4 days. The last 4 out of 5 days. They've won 3 of them. They've played good basketball. They've won at Portland, they won at Sacramento, and they won at Phoenix. But they get a much taller task going to Utah. Utah coming off a tough loss. I like the Jazz to bounce back and get a big win tonight. They did get the win against Golden State, 110-91 last game, but then they lost at San Antonio. But I like Utah at home. That line's -7, 7.5. We do know that Kyrie Irving's obviously out. They have been winning without him, but I think that stamina is going to be an issue tonight in Utah. Fatigue will set place, and I like the Jazz minus the points at home tonight.
And Troy referred to my presumed tanking angle. Basically what I've said over the last 2 years where the 76ers made it look like tanking is truly the way to go. How have teams done when they're in quote-unquote tanking situations? And when a team's winning percentage of .310 or less, playing a team with a winning percentage of .390 or above, they're actually a very solid play the last 2 years, 237 and 171. But Troy, make sure you're sitting down for this one. It continues to get better with each loss. When a team has at least 53 losses, it's at 71.4%, and that would benefit Memphis, Phoenix, and the Atlanta Hawks. Portland at Memphis, the LA Clippers at Phoenix, the home teams there, and the road team, Atlanta at Minnesota. But best of all, it is 18-4 for 81.8% when they have at least 54 losses, which would apply to both Memphis and Phoenix. So if you're watching the show for the first time, yes, it says to go with the team that we're assuming is tanking. There's going to be some over-adjustment. Plus, even if the teams are tanking as far as, playing their younger players, and the odds makers are going to take that into account. Look, the young players themselves, they're not going to go out there and tank, so there is some odds makers adjustment. So the last 2 years especially, go with teams that we think are probably tanking. The Hawks will, though, be playing their 4th straight road game. I do like to take into account when teams are on long road trips. Cleveland at Charlotte. Teams that go over by a combined 5 or more are generally an underplay. That's not very strong. It's not so much it's a contrarian angle, more of a word to the wise that when you see 2 teams that are generally high scoring have been over teams, it's not an automatic over. It's generally an under, but it doesn't mean that necessarily to blindly bet that under, but more of a word to the wise than an actual contrarian system, so to speak. And then Boston and Utah. Boston playing their 4th straight road game, and most importantly, in Utah. As I always say, we always know about the thin air in Denver. Utah's got the high elevation as well. So Utah will be hosting a team in the midst of a long road trip. Like I said, Thursday's usually when you got the shorter card, the national TV, etc., and then they like the teams to rest for the weekend action. But Troy, you got anything that you're looking at for Thursday?
Yeah, Joe, just a couple of games for Thursday. One in which I'm not going to give an official play, but definitely one to keep an eye out on. The last two games, the Golden State Warriors indeed sat the Big Four. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant all sat. Utah got an extremely easy cover, 110-91. And then last night, the Pacers also got a cover with those four guys out. Now, Kevin Durant's supposed to be back. We'll see. But for those out there, keep a very close eye. If they're going to be depleted again, Vegas has shown that they're having a really tough time setting the odds on those. And I would just be extremely cautious on that, but also keep an eye. If that line comes out and those guys are out again and it's -5 or 6, I'd roll with Milwaukee.
And like I said, I'd like to really expose those scheduling dichotomies. One of my favorite is in the NBA. I got great systems in all sports. Baseball is starting. I'll be at opening day with my son, in fact, the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. But one of my favorite scheduling dichotomies is when you have a road team that's more rested in the NBA. And again, I'll explain the theory behind it. About 70% of the time when one team is more rested, it's usually the home team that's more rested. But the other 30% of the time, when it's the road team that's more rested, what that means is the normal home court advantage does not apply, but the odds makers haven't taken that into consideration. When you have a road team with at least 2 more days rest than the home team, it's 566 and 487 against the spread. That would benefit a marquee game on Thursday, the Thunder and the Spurs, so a lot of you are going to be watching that, and definitely a big system in the OKC column. Well, we're going to return on Friday where Troy and I will take a look at the weekend card, and hopefully we'll have the young man on camera again. I know you ladies out there want to see his lovely face, but Troy, why don't you tell them about your lovely picks, whether or not they love your lovely face or not. I know they love your picks at TroyWins.com.
Well, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I don't know which one's worse right now, the picks or the face, but no, we're excited for the Final Four, Joe. I really do think we have 2 big winners picked out in this one. It's been a crazy tournament without a doubt, but we are in the black, which is a good thing. Come take a look. Like you said, NBA playoffs right around the corner. I think it's going to be a fantastic NBA playoffs. Really looking forward to the matchups that we could potentially see. Come take a look. We're happy to take care of you. That's TroyWins.com.
Well, at OffshoreInsiders.com, I don't know what's fatter, the guy making the picks or the wallets of the clients. It's been a great NCAA tournament. Actually, it's been a great, all the tournaments, the CBI, the CIT, all those fancy letterings. NBA, it's been great as well. On a ridiculous run, I got the numbers updated on my website, especially since August the 27th. Love baseball. It's always been my best ROI sport, going back to 1988. Visit me at OffshoreInsiders.com for the winning picks throughout baseball season and certainly through the rest of the NBA. Well, we will be back. Troy and I are going to be back on Friday. We'll take a look at the weekend portfolio. And like I said, we'll hopefully be back on our normal schedule. Make sure, though, you subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos, the YouTube channel, and we will be back again on Friday.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.